It sucks that George Carlin died. Did I ever tell you I saw him in concert?
I'm pretty sure that a concert can only mean a musical performance, so unless you saw him sing or something, you didn't see him in concert.
Too bad you lost your dictionary. You could look it up and prove me wrong.
It so happens that I found my dictionary. I'm very relieved. Concert, noun. A musical performance given in public, typically by several performers or of separate compositions. Adjective. Of, relating to, or denoting the performance of music written for opera, ballet, or theatre on its own without the accompanying dramatic action, the concert version of the fourth interlude from the opera.
It still makes sense to say that I saw George Carlin in concert. I don't think that the definitions of concert are leaving out stand-up comedy on purpose. I think that they just haven't thought to include it. It's pretty much the only other type of performance that could fall under that definition. But, yeah, you're right. You pedanticist.
They just didn't think to include it. That argument presents a very slippery slope that could be used to stretch and contort any definition of any word that doesn't suit your purposes at the time. It's an insult to the dictionary and its makers. I expected better of you.
In this case, I just feel the definition is short-sighted. It's not like I want the definition of hymen to include koala bears. This is a pretty specific case. If a performer has material that he/she performs in a concert venue, why does that material have to be music in order to consider it a concert? I just think that comedy could easily be included within the broad confines of the definition, and would argue that point with the magic little elves who are in charge of this kind of thing.
See what you did there? You called it a concert venue, but you're using your definition of concert to help support itself. It could very well be argued, on the strength of the dictionary's definition of the word, that a room with a stage, that may or may not have seats of some sort, can only truly be referred to as a concert venue, if it is a venue where music is performed. A comedy club, for instance, or some you hear plays are performed, would not qualify. And perhaps you saw said comedy performance at a true-by-the-book music venue. However, a non-musical performance still doesn't qualify as a concert. If I were to go to a poetry reading at the Social, would you call that a concert, merely by virtue of the fact that it occurred in a building where concerts often take place?
Basically, I'm questioning why the definition still strictly specifies a musical performance. I just feel like the definition of the word is antiquated. The boiled-down essence of concert, based on all the definitions I read, is a public, unstaged musical performance. I was guessing that the music part of the definition remained, because up until fairly recently how many other types of public unstaged performances could there be? But, also think that definitions can evolve based on connotation. It seems that concert is now mostly used to describe a live, unstaged performance in a non-intimate setting. When I said concert venue, I guess that this is what I meant. Although you could technically call a band's performance at a club, a piano class recital, or even a couple homeless men playing harmonica on the street corner a concert, it wouldn't paint the clearest mental picture of your experience. I wouldn't say I saw a comedian in concert if I saw him at Yuck Yucks in Cleveland, but if I saw him at an amphitheater, I would, and you'd instantly be able to visualize the performance I saw. My argument is that stand-up comedy, like no other type of performance, runs parallel to music in the way it is presented to its audience, and should be able to logically use some of the same terminology. If you want to disagree with me, that's fine, but isn't it reasonable to say that the practical definition of the word, based on the way it is now used, could be a public, unstaged performance, typically music, in a non-intimate setting?
Point taken. I still think you're wrong.
I still think your face is wrong.
What?
Nothing. I don't know. Your face. It's wrong.
Douche.